Hi, this is Anisha,
And I'm Akash.
and this is a screencast for our Devops project.
For the build milestone, we have used ND4J as our target project and Vagrant, Ansible, and Docker as tools to configure and run the build. We use a pre-commit hook to start a VM via Vagrant. All this hook does is bring up a VM without provisioning it.
On a successful commit, the VM is provisioned using Ansible. The playbook used for this will install a few tools, Node.js, and Docker. It will also install some npm packages like HTTP Server and Forever that will be used for viewing the build log. After this, it will start off the build in a Docker container. This container has been configured with the dependencies for ND4J and is being hosted on Docker Hub. Now the log file can be viewed in the browser on port 8000.
For the next milestone, we have used the Apache Commons collections, which is more suitable to display the test-related tasks after a build. We use the Cobertura Jenkins plugin to generate the code coverage reports. The code coverage report looks something like this. Next, for the test generation, we have used a tool called Randoop. As we see, using Randoop has increased the test coverage. This is visible in the trends graph which moves upwards.
Now for the static analysis. Here we use the Find Bugs plugins for Jenkins. To run the static analysis, we only have to add Find Bugs to the Maven goals. The report can be viewed in the Find Bugs Warnings tab. We created a custom Find Bugs detector that will detect if a method in a class has the name foo or bar. Jenkins has thresholds that can be set for a build and test phase to qualify as successful. For example, if we lower the maximum number of find bugs warnings, we can cause a failure even though the build has succeeded.
For this milestone, we have developed a simple website counter app in Node.js. 3 production servers running on VCL are used as app servers. A load balancing proxy is responsible for equal distribution of requests amongst them. Previous components in the pipeline will provide a built app, playbook, and a host file to the deployment component. We created a Python script using Ansible's Python API to perform configuration management of the remote servers. To perform a canary release, all we need to do is specify a canary group inside the host file, and then our script will configure the canary accordingly. We are also able to monitor memory and CPU usage of our deployment environment. To simulate canary failure, we used a lat monkey to generate alerts. In the previous milestone, a user would have to manually reserve cloud instances before deployment. However, we believe that infrastructure should be commissioned, configured, and decommissioned automatically. Also, developers should be able to create and destroy boxes that emulate the production environment. For this, we are developing a command line utility that lets developers choose a base image and an Ansible playbook. The utility will then request that image and automatically configure it to produce a reusable box. Now let's have a look at the demo. So I will use the tool to add a request, and I will specify an image ID of 3630, which is the Ubuntu 14.04 base box image. I'll specify a role that I have downloaded already using Ansible Galaxy. It's the David Whitman Redis role. The URL. I will also specify my username, and once after this, the tool will ask me for my password, and I'll specify. Once my credentials are accepted, we can see that the request has become a success, and now we'll come back once the reservation has been made. Now we can see that the reservation has become a success, and now Ansible has started configuring the David Whitman Redis role on this machine. And we'll come back once all of the tasks have stopped executing successfully. As you can see, now some of the tasks are executing on the machine. As we can see that now the David Redis role has finished executing, We can go to VCL dashboard and verify that the request has actually completed. Now I will connect to the machine and see the username and password and the IP address for it. I will SSH into the machine to verify whether the Redis role is actually executing or not. I'll list all of the processes running and check if Redis is running on that. As we can see that the Redis server is running on port 6379, and we can see that the Redis role had finished executing successfully. Thank you.